Our actions and lifestyles have impacted our planet and ourselves in many ways. Rapid growth in population, rapid urbanization, irresponsible use of natural resources, and technology have resulted in many of today's major environmental problems like changes in climate patterns, global warming, rising sea levels, and so forth. The rate at which we are harming our environment, it seems we won't be able to leave a habitable and clean planet for our future generations. But it does not mean that we would be slowing down on technological advancement, but the solution lies more in having more general overview about how we protect our environment and to take responsibility and accountability of how we can take care of our own mother nature. So that is why this topic discusses about a very important concept which is called as sustainable development. So what we will be learning is how we can have both development, both advancements, and then taking care of our nature in a more responsible way. Okay, so what actually is a sustainable development? Now, as I said, the advancement and technology should go hand in hand with the protection of the mother nature. Now, to do that, a sustainable development would then suggest be the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. That means the overall goal of a sustainable development is to achieve the supreme ability or the long-term stability of the economy and protection of our natural environment while driving innovation, because that is even important, while driving growth, because that is the important aspect of human life, and also the other developments like technologies, communications, transportations, everything put together hand in hand parallelly with taking care of the mother nature. So that is what doable sustainable development would be considered as. Now the next is the need of sustainable development. See, when we are talking about working with technology and advancements in technology and then damaging the nature or the aspect of nature, a lot of us talk about the climate changes that have had taken place over the period of time, have somehow damaged the overall stability of the mother nature. Now, that is why we need a sustainable development. On the one hand, we believe in advancements. On the one hand, we require technological advancements, we require growth of human sustainability, of human development, of human survival, but also we need to all have an understanding of how to better protect the mother nature. Now, what are the issues that sustainable development must address? The first is to curb or prevent the environmental degradation, to ensure a safe human life, okay, to check the exploitative technology and find alternative resources. There are a lot of automobiles that is running on the roads. Now imagine the amount of, they all run in natural resources, they all run in fuel, either petrol or diesel, okay, or CNG. So imagine the amount of natural resources that is getting extracted every day and that is being used to run all of these automobiles. Okay, so all of this require dependable alternative sources. Next is to check the over exploitation and wastage of natural resources, to regenerate renewable energy resources. We have non-renewable energy, we have renewable energy, so more of an emphasis should be given to the renewable energy resources like the wind, that is the air, then the solar. Okay, so to ensure environmentally sustainable economic growth. Okay, so we also need to ensure the environmentally sustainable economic growth. So these are some of the sustainable development that must be addressed with the help of green skills technology. So all the entire topic is about the green skills technology. Now, the concept of sustainable development is based on certain principles. Number one, integration of environment and economic decision. We have to both integrate the environment. That means we need to take care of the environment to keep it clean, okay, to keep it green, and also we need to understand and take the economic decisions more wisely. The second one would be stewardship, or humans are the caretaker of the environment. So there is none other than us, because we are the intelligent species available or alive in this planet. So we have to come forward and take care of our environment. Next is shared responsibility, accountability, and the decision making. Okay, so all of this is again very, very important. Next, prevention and mitigations. Okay, we need to understand how to prevent certain things. We have these natural calamities at times because of the global climatic conditions that have taken a dent, okay, all through these years. Then we need to understand about conservations. Okay, how can we conserve our natural resources? Waste minimization. Okay, we need to understand how to waste minimization of different objects and materials, most importantly the plastics. Then enhancement of productivity, capability, quality of nature and human life, rehabilitation and reclamation. Okay, we are poaching deep into the jungles, we are poaching deep into the oceans. Okay, so somehow we are hampering, or we are coming in between the natural habitat of that particular area, and we are encroaching their spaces. So that is creating a disbalance amongst the environment. Okay, and then we need to have scientific and technological innovations. Okay, so more of a work is required in the field of science, more of a work is required in the field of technology and innovation. Next is the pillars of sustainable development. What are the pillars of sustainable development? The first one would be the social pillar. Okay, so it involves an understanding of social institutions and their role in change and overall development. For example, workers' health and safety. We need to take care the health and safety measures of a worker, which is basically working for the sustainable development, to keep up the sustainable development. Impact on local communities, quality of life. It involves consideration of how the overall development will have impact on quality of life of a people while being sustainable. Next is benefits to disadvantaged groups. It involves ensuring that the development in a sustainable way reaches to disadvantageous groups. Okay, there should not be difference between the poor and the rich. Next is the inclusive of social practices. It ensures that the commitment to consider environmental and economic policy development alongside is honored correctly. Okay, so this was one pillar of a sustainable development, which is social. Next is the environment. So it involves more awareness of the resources and fragility of the physical environment and its dependence on human activities. For example, reduce of waste generation, emission into environment is very, very important. A lot of factories across the planet were extracting a lot of things, a lot of minerals, okay, producing a lot of cars, bikes, okay, a lot of other parts and objects that is required for day-to-day life. They create a lot of wastage, a lot of environmental wastage, and a lot of harmful emissions. So that has to be taken care of. Okay, and that is why usage of more of renewable energy sources are important to take care of this aspect. So when it comes to reduce waste generation, emission into environment, it involves ensuring the reduction in waste generation and control of all practices that contribute to greenhouse effect to reduce overall emissions in environment. Next is reduce impact on human health. It ensures that the overall impact on human health should not be negative. Okay, because of the human activity, we see a lot of pollution in the air. We see a lot of harmful gases that is emitted out of all of the automobiles, all of the machines that is running on the road, okay, or in the field or in the factories. This create a lot with our health, not only with the health of human life, also with the health of animals. Okay, so that has to be taken care of. Next is use of renewable raw material. Okay, it promotes the use of raw materials that are renewable. Like for example, instead of using plastics, we can use a lot of jutes. Okay, produces bags that have been produced out of jutes, okay, or bamboos. So they are more renewable. Okay, they are biodegradable. Plastic is not a biodegradable material. Next is elimination of toxic substances. It involves the adoption of practices that neither use nor produce toxic substances and elements. For example, pollution control is very, very important. Okay. Next is inclusive environmental practices. It ensures that the commitment to consider social and economic policy development alongside is honored. So this is pillar number 2, that is environment. Next is the pillar number 3, that is economy, which is very, very important. Economic growth is essential for a society to sustain. Okay, of course, in this era we need to have advancement, as we have a lot of technologies, as we have technologies in and around us. So it is very, very important to have a sustainable economical growth along with taking care of the environment. So there we have creation for new markets and opportunities for sale growth. For example, it involves that the new opportunities, products and markets are created that aid in inclusive development and growth of economy. Then cost reduction with reduced energy and raw material inputs. This factor involves working on improved methods and practices that reduce costs with enhanced efficiency while consume less raw material and have less energy needs. Next is the creation of additional value. It involves the adoption of policies and practices that increase the overall worth and value of all economic components and inducing growth and profit. Next is the inclusive environment practices. It ensures that the commitment to consider social and economic policy development alongside is honored. Okay, so this is pillar number 3, that is economy. So we have 3 pillars that is required for a sustainable development, considering the green skills technology that we use in information technology. One is social, the other is environment, and the third is economy.